She thought she was standing at a wedding for his brother, but when she heard the names, her world exploded. The courtyard buzzed with energy. Drums pounded, neighbors cheered, and the sun reflected off the colorful fabrics like a golden spotlight on the day she had orchestrated. Eziamaraa had been meticulous, arranging the flowers, checking the food, guiding the photographers, coordinating the schedule. Every detail had been hers. Every step of the day had her fingerprints. Every smile she offered had been forced from a place of pride. But pride, she was about to learn, can be a cruel illusion. The officiant stepped forward, clearing his throat, the ceremony reaching its final, climactic moment. Eziamaraa straightened her back, smiling weakly, her palms still clammy from the earlier shock of that kiss. She was determined to remain composed. She had believed in loyalty all her life. She would not let fear or suspicion ruin this day, at least, she told herself. Now, we come to the part where the couple is officially pronounced husband and wife, the officiant announced, his voice booming across the courtyard. The crowd leaned forward, clapping hands, whispering excitedly. Jewel and Star, Eziamara's own children, sat innocently at her side, their eyes wide with curiosity. They had no idea what was coming. Her heart still raced from the kiss, a lingering echo that made her skin crawl. But she refused to think further. After all, she was a supportive wife. She had faith. She had trust. She had nothing. Then the names were called. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce Christopher Adewale Obinna and Saadi Okafor husband and wife. The words hit her like a hammer to the chest. Christopher, her husband. Christopher Adewale Obinna, with another woman's name attached. The courtyard erupted in applause. Confetti flew. Drums roared. Eziamaraa felt the sound fade into nothingness as the world tilted beneath her. Her body reacted before her mind could process. Heat surged through her chest. Her knees weakened. Her hands trembled violently. She blinked, convinced that she had misheard. Maybe it was a mistake. Perhaps a mix-up, a ceremonial tradition she didn't understand. Her brain clung desperately to any rational explanation, but none came. Christopher turned toward her with a polite smile, the kind he had given her countless times before. Warm, reassuring, confident. The same smile he used to manipulate, to calm, to distract. But now it was a weapon. The warmth in his eyes was a dagger aimed straight at her heart. Eziamara's stomach twisted violently. She felt lightheaded, her vision blurred at the edges. Jewel clung to her hand. Star tugged at her dress. Her children sensed the chaos their mother tried to hide. She forced herself to smile at them, to reassure them, but it was a hollow act. Her mind screamed, but her voice refused to follow. This can't be happening. This is impossible. He wouldn't. But he had. And the officiant, oblivious to the devastation at the edge of the crowd, continued the ceremony. The crowd clapped louder, cheered louder, celebrating what Eziamaraa could not comprehend. She wanted to cry, to scream, to run, but her legs refused. All she could do was watch. Christopher and Saadi held hands, their smiles radiant, their joy unmasked and unabashed. The world around Eziamaraa moved forward, celebrating, oblivious to the personal apocalypse occurring before her eyes. Every beat of the drum, every cheer, every clap was a reminder, she had been replaced. Replaced not by circumstance, not by accident, but by deliberate choice. She had funded this day. She had traveled for it. She had coordinated every detail. She had clapped. She had smiled. And through it all, she had been invisible. Her hands were shaking uncontrollably now. She gripped Jewel and Star, her fingers biting into their small hands, the only tangible connection left in the chaos. Her knees felt weak, as if gravity itself was betraying her. Her mind screamed questions she could not answer. How could he do this? How could they do this? Why me? And yet, no sound came from her lips. No accusation, no scream, no demand. Loyalty, trust, love, whatever remained, kept her silent. All she could do was stand frozen, the world spinning around her, the confetti raining like shards of betrayal. Christopher and Saudi had moved on. The crowd had celebrated. The day was theirs. And Eziamaraa was left suspended in disbelief, clutching her children, shaking, watching the man she loved become someone else's husband before her very eyes. The wedding had concluded. But for Eziamaraa, the ceremony had only begun, the bitter, unbearable truth had arrived. And she stood there, frozen in place, as her heart shattered quietly in the crowd.
Morning light on the kitchen floor. I built this house from love and more. Framed your fears, hung up your past. Thought we were built to really last. I wore devotion like a crown. Held you up, I held you down. Skipped my needs to fit your plans. Signed my soul with trembling hands. Was I